Musk's thinking principle is the key to AI growth and applying AI in your businesses. So Elon Musk has a thinking principle called thinking in first principles. Well, it's not his principle, but it's something he's popularized, especially in the interviews he's done on how he expands and grows all of these companies, how he develops new systems for these huge companies. And I really think this is the key to AI, because if you think about first principles, we look for first principles thinking you have to trim away all the fat that is in a process, in a system, in a company, and just look at what actually matters. If we want to achieve X result, we need to do A, B, and C so that X is achieved. And if there's other stuff like D, E, and F that are unnecessary, but it still gets us to the X result, then if we take out the D, E, and F and we still get the same result, that means the D, E, and F were never a good thing to be a part of. So if we had to make it simple and we had to look at, let's just say, video editing, right? So video editing, there's a concept of color grading where you make the picture of the video look nice. So it makes it either look cinematographic, or it makes it look brighter, it makes it look darker. And all of this is usually applied in a lot of videos that are done on YouTube, done on Instagram. But as you see that some videos that do exceptionally well are shot on an iPhone with no editing and no color grading and anything, but they do very well. Then other videos that are highly edited, highly color graded by specialist editors, and all of this fun stuff are put into the video, don't perform as well. Why is that? This is because the people who are watching the videos are looking for the content in the content, right? They're looking for what's inside the content. So what is the message they get? What is the thing they learn? What is the value they get out of consuming this? It's not about, is this color grading done by an expert or is it shot by an iPhone? As long as the information is clear, audible, and they can understand the concept, it really doesn't matter how the thing was produced, as long as the results are there. And this is the same thing with AI. A lot of people see all of these powerful AI tools that are coming out every day, and it's very understandable because these systems are getting better and better each day. But now a lot of people want to implement like the most complex system using these AI things when they could just strip down the process that has been working for them throughout the years, the process that has gotten them from zero to where they are in the business, and just find ways to plug AI into those processes and making sure that we're not doing extra steps or we are not investing extra cost just to automate or make this more productive. But if you look at it, it's just adding more fat into the process and making it slower or making it more complex, and just not driving the initial value that was meant to be driven, right? So the best way to think about all of this is that what is the process that you've been doing throughout the years in your business? If you want a client to convert and pay, who do they have to talk to? What, after they talk to that person, what are the three things that is checked off to ensure that they, in their minds, this communicates the value of your product or your service or your business, and that's when they actually buy. Then after they buy, what happens almost immediately so that their purchase is validated? Do they get an email? Do they get a package? They updated on the status of who's working on it currently? What are all those processes that allow the whole client journey to be smoothed out? And what is that process that you've been doing for years that has worked so well for you to help you reach this stage of your business? And then from there, what are the many steps that we could plug AI in to just accelerate that process? So if we go back to what are the three checklists that the client must have to be able to actually make a purchase, do they have to talk to a person, or can we send them a video that we could produce via AI that shows them first of all audibly and also visually of what the value is, so that we could potentially take these boxes out quicker. Or could we get an AI voice agent instead of having Mark be the guy that answers every client phone call? Can we train a voice agent with the checklist that Mark has to go through to ensure that the client understands the value and sees the value and makes the purchase? Could we train him to even 8 out of 10 of Mark's level, and then just have the AI agents handle more customers that we couldn't reach forward? You see how that works? It's just taking a process that currently exists, trimming the fat, making sure there's no extra steps, making sure we go through the actual checklist of what is required for a successful conversion or successful sale, and then we plug or train AI to take on that role in a multiplied format, and then you continue. So that is just what I wanted to share with you today, is how can we use first principle thinking to not only understand the systems in our business and the actual things that help us grow our business, that help us get clients, that help us get more people in our team so we can expand and get more clients. What are those things that even if the world changes and the market changes, but as long as there's someone who's willing to buy our stuff, this process works. We think like that. And yeah, then there, once you know the answer to that and you've distilled each and every step, even the micro steps to getting the goal that you want, and ensuring that the client journey is as smooth as the way you have been doing it, that's when we start plugging in AI into those bits and pieces, so that it actually helps us do more from what we've already been doing on the systems that we've already been on, without having to learn new stuff that's going to add more fat into our business that we don't require. And then once we have it in our systems and able to multiply, that unlocks the value of scaling a business using these AI automated systems. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is just my thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.